Hi there, it's Mrs. Drake with the flute, and this is going to be lesson 17. I hope you've already warmed up with your 5-note scales, but let's take a look at another warm-up. Everybody, page 26, number 1. Everybody, page 26, number 1. This one's called long tones. Long tones. Check the key signature, so it's going to be A natural, okay? The first note is B flat. Underneath the music are those arrows. Don't worry about that. It means gradually become louder and gradually become quieter. It's called dynamics. For elementary school, don't bother with that. Just try to get a good tone. And the deal is, can you hold your breath for 7 beats? If you notice, each slur adds up to 7 beats. And I would like you to try to do the slur. If you run out of breath, it's okay. Just let it turn into rests. But otherwise, on song 1, they're seeing if you can pace yourself and hold your breath for 7 beats. 4 on the B flat, and then 3 on the A is the first slur. Okay, so song number 1, I'm going to play it. I encourage you to try it along with me. Again, on this one, I would like you to try to do the slur and try to pace yourself. Don't let your breath all whoosh out. Try to hold it in where you can make it last for 7 beats. Okay, song 1. 1, 2, ready, go. That very last note is low E flat. All fingers, regular E flat, but then you got to put your first finger down to let it come out low. Okay, so low E flat. Let's try it again. Same exact song, 1, 2, beginning, go. All right, now let's take a look at lesson 17. Okay, let's take a look at the first song, B flat, E flat key signature. But what's catching my eye is kind of a new rhythm. T, rest, T, rest. The kind of looks like a demented 7. It's called an 8th rest. So consider it like TT, but you're only blowing on the first note. So song 1 would be T, 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 ta. Jump ahead to measure 5. Do you see how the B flats and the D, how there's dots over all of those? It's called staccato. It means to clip them short. So measure 1 and measure 5 actually should sound the same. They drew it in 2 different styles, but it actually should sound the same. Okay? And then measure 2 and measure 6 match each other. It looks like those two. Yeah, all of it. So measure 1 and measure 5 sound the same. So the first 4 measures sound the same as the last 4 measures. Even though they wrote it in a different style, they should sound the same. Okay, so everybody warm up the beginning of song 1. That should be the style. Okay, song 1. 1, 2, ready, go. Song 2, everybody check the key signature. Song 2, B flat, E flat, and A flat. So you are going to need your pinkies. Do you trust yourself to remember to play A flat? There's a lot of them in this song. If you want to write reminders, go ahead. I encourage you to use pencil. But if you feel like you need to write reminders, go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, song 2, the very first note is that low E flat that we were talking about during the warm-up. E flat, but then make sure you put your first finger down and blow very gently. And then the second note is B flat. So everybody warm up the first 2 notes of song 2. There is a few slurs. I'm going to do the slurs. If this is your first time playing it, you might want to leave off the slurs. And then there is a few staccatos. I'm not picky about that in elementary school. If you want to do the staccatos, remember it means to clip the notes short. feel free to do it, but I'm not going to be picky about that in elementary school. Just try to get your fingers right, try to get a good tone. Song 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, song 3. Check the key signature, B flat, E flat. Look ahead. There's some high notes. Once you hit measure 5, please notice it goes up to high B flat, high A natural. Again, write a few reminders if you're not good at remembering the A natural key signature. That high note, the first note of measure 5 is high B flat. It's okay with me if you write a few reminders in it. Song 3. I'm going to do the slurs. If it's your first time playing it, you might want to leave off the slurs. If you leave off the slurs, it does make it easier. But then I encourage you to try to get where you can do the slurs. Okay, everybody, warm up the beginning of song 3. Song 3. 1, 2, ready, go. Take a look at song 4. Okay, again, there's lots of staccatos on song 4. I am not picky about that for elementary school. There is a slur. There's a lot of rests. Be careful on this one. It can make it challenging, all those rests. Check the key signature. Okay, song 4. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Okay, song 5. I like this one. This is a classic melody. Maybe you'll even recognize it. There are some slurs. I'm going to do the slurs. Underneath the music, it does have the F, which stands for the Italian word forte, which means to play loud. And then later it has the P, which stands for the Italian word piano, which means to play quietly. And it has the arrows about getting louder and the arrows about getting quieter. For elementary school, am not going to worry about any of that stuff. I like you to know what it means, but I don't necessarily want you to feel like you have to do it. Just try to get your fingers right, try to get the slurs right. Okay, song 5. Everybody warm up the beginning. Song 5. 1, 2, ready, go. And then the one at the bottom of the page, Circus March. I want to remind you that the last one on every lesson has a recording that goes along with it. I sent you a link to that recording. So when you have Circus March mastered, I encourage you to find that recording and try to play it along with the recording. Okay, check the key signature. There are some accidentals. Jump your eyes down to measure 13. Do you see in measure 13 there's a D flat? In fact, both of those Ds, because they're in the same measure, has to be played as D flat. D flat is pinky only, nothing else, just the pinky. So on measure 13, D flat, you might want to write the word pinky or at least circle it. Measure 13 has some D flats. There's an E natural, like in measure 17. There's an E natural. Remember, that's F plus first finger. There's also one in measure 6. challenging song. Dies al fine means to return to that del segno. It looks kind of like a demented dollar sign. You'll see it's right at measure 3. Measure 3 is where the del segno is. So you play through the whole song, you leap back to measure 3, and then you stop at the fine. Okay, the beginning is 7 beats of silence. Maybe there's drums or something on the recording. So I'm going to lead it off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm just going to jump in on the B flat and play the whole song, including the del segno. Okay, so I'm going to lead it off with 7 beats and then just jump right in. Here we go, everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. That was lesson 17.